This was Saad Muhammadi's story in his own voice and his own ideas and how he tells it to the world. There's a message to the world from somewhere in the Arab world, and stranded without paper, without official paper, without identity, and nobody is really hearing him or seeing him. That's at least how we feel. So we give him a chance to tell his story, and we're going to have other story be told on a weekly basis. And as far as telling story, we have here Taous Khazem. She is an actor. She's also having a play here in the Twin City, and she's telling another story. And she's going to tell us what is this all about and which story there is. Welcome to Belahdan, Taous.
Thank you.
Taous.
Taous.
Which is the lovely bird, right?
Yes.
Okay. You are an actor, you write, you direct, you do a lot of things, and you take a lot of chances. You know, I've seen some of your work. I mean, you know, it's very intriguing, very interesting, very creative. You like to do story, and you tell things by your own. And you do most of everything.
Yeah.
But what is it about your play that you have in this end of month or what?
Yep, it will open September 25th. It's called The Palace of the End, produced by Frank Theater in Minneapolis, directed by Wendy Knox. And it's
Frank Theater?
Frank Theater.
What is it?
Frank is a professional theater company in Minneapolis. It's been around for 20 years.
Located in, what's the location?
Minneapolis. The exact address where the show will be is in the Ivy Building for the Arts. It's 2637 27th Avenue South in the Seward neighborhood.
I see. Okay.
Franktheater.org is the website for all that info. And this show is called The Palace of the End, Qasr Nihaya.
What a beautiful...
And it's written by a Canadian playwright called Judith Thompson. And there are 3 actors. All the characters, there are 3 characters, 3 actors, based on true stories. So the first one is played by Emily Zimmer, and the character is based on Lindy England, who was the American soldier in all of those pictures at Abu Ghraib in the prison, holding the leash. She's always giving the thumbs up.
It was fun for her, huh? She was having fun. Do you know where she is now? I don't want to know.
I think she's in West Virginia and having a really hard time finding a job.
Well, that's a lot. She can sponsor a lot of product with this.
Yeah, with a thumbs up.
Cool, yeah, thumbs up. Yeah. Okay.
So the first monologue, it's just 3 monologues, and Emily plays the character based on the media circus around Lindy England. And so this character is, in her monologue, she's talking about the horrific things that happened, but sort of why she did it and how she sort of justifies herself. And the playwright imagines that in her childhood, she experienced abuse and she experienced torture.
So that's not her story?
That's not, I think that part is imagined by the playwright.
Okay, so, but there are some of them what she actually said.
Right. Some of it is true. The character and sort of the events are true, but the imaginative,
the narrative,
right? The characters' sort of nitty-gritty parts are the playwright's imagination.
Interesting.
The second monologue and character is based on David Kelly, who was a British microbiologist who also worked for the UN, and he had been sent in to see if Saddam Hussein actually was able to push a button and then in 45 minutes send nuclear weapons and chemical weapons to destroy other countries, which is how Britain and the United States played up the invasion.
The weapon of mass destruction fiasco.
Right.
Okay.
So he's the one who talked to the BBC, to a journalist called Andrew Gilligan, and said, that's not true.
That's before the invasion.
That was just after the invasion.
After the invasion.
He spoke to the BBC.
Oh, I see.
And in that actor is Patrick Bailey, and in this monologue, David Kelly is dying. He died in a place called Harrowdown Hill in England, and he's taken drugs and slit his wrist. And so the monologue imagines him in those last moments of his life as he's sort of thinking about why he is killing himself and also what happened and the events that triggered him going to the press. He tells a very, I won't reveal it all because I hope people will come, but he tells a very human story of actually just broke in the press recently of an American soldier who had gone into a shop and raped and killed the people in it. I think he was just sentenced to life in prison. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. But that story is in his monologue.
This is heavy.
It's very heavy, yeah.
Yeah. So what? And then
then the third one is me. That character's name is Narges al-Safra.
Narges Safra.
And she is, according to Judith Thompson, she was the wife of a communist leader in Iraq who was tortured by the secret police, Jihaz Hanin, the Ba'ath Party's secret police.
Everybody's a secret police. What do you do? I'm a secret police. You're not that secret. You've been in a bus, taking a bus in Egypt, and the conductor asked people for a ticket. He said, "No, I'm a secret police."
I'm a secret police.
Everybody knows the guy's a secret police.
Oh, God.
So I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's an amazing story. How, as an actor, so how do you tell a story with such, gravity and such a graphic and it lends itself to a very macro, big issue.
And in rehearsals right now, we've been spending a lot of time researching and talking through all of this and crying. I feel like I've cried at every rehearsal. But what's nice about the way my monologue is written is that there are these moments of humor and poetry that, for example, Narges will be talking about something really horrible and awful, and then suddenly she'll recite a poem.
Oh, interesting.
So it'll kind of take
What are you going to do?
Right. And at one point she says, I've devoted my time to learning all the great Iraqi poets, women poets, and committing those to memory. And then she begins the monologue by talking about the nakhla, date palm tree, and her relationship.
How can you escape that?
Yeah, exactly. And her relationship to that tree. So it kind of weaves in and out. It gets to the tragedy, but you are left with a tiny little sense of hope at the end.
Fill in.
Yeah, but
I see what you mean. And she survived Saddam, but she died.
She was actually killed by an American bomb that bombed her apartment during the first Gulf War.
I see.
This Narges al-Safra, I'm not sure if that was really her name, because in my research I haven't been able to find her. But I have been researching a lot about the Iraqi Communist Party and about how after the coup in '63 they were rounded up with the help of the CIA and tortured
by Saddam.
and killed. Yep. Who wasn't... He came into power in the late '70s, but he was the head of the secret police at that time.
Yeah, he's a very brutal past and present and future, I guess.
Yeah.
But, and I know art, it adds something or tell the reality in a different ways. So through all those three stories, is there a theme, are connected?
Yeah.
Is there something there?
There are threads that connect them all. They all talk about flying. They all talk about dreaming of flying.
Flying as escaping or flying as elation?
Both.
Really?
Both. My character talks about flying as elation, and she talks about flying with her dead son, and flying as a way to watch over and to survey her people. And then Emily Zimmer's character, the one based in Lindy, England, talks about flying in an escape sense.
It's interesting because I was caught one time when I was young high school students, and I went to the police and they beat me up for.
Oh really?
I don't want to say it's torture, but it beat me up for a long time.
Wow.
But one of the things to sustain the pain, because it's just a guy beating you like for 30 minutes, is you feel like separate yourself from your body.
Yeah.
You fly away from your body. Right. And your body is just alien.
Disconnected,
to you.
Yeah. My character